Dear students, we are discussing about electron displacement effects. The last one is hyperconjugative effect. So this is also due to the delocalization of electrons. In mesomeric effect, we studied there is a delocalization of pi electron. Hyperconjugative effect is due to the delocalization of sigma electrons. The bonded pair of electrons are involving in the delocalization. So this is called a hyperconjugative effect. Like a resonance effect, like a mesomeric effect, this is also a stabilizing effect. Due to hyperconjugation, there will be more possible structures. For a compound, we may write more than one possible structure. So this is also making a stabilized structure, right? Then this is a permanent effect. Like inductive effect, hyperconjugative effect is a permanent effect. If you take electromeric is a temporary effect, and this hyperconjugative displacement effect is a permanent one, which is responsible for this hyperconjugation. This is mainly due to interaction or overlapping between the bonded orbital. So between carbon and hydrogen, there will be mutual overlapping. The hybridized orbital of carbon and 1s orbital of hydrogen mutually overlapping. So this bonded orbital will interact with the adjacent pi orbital. So there is an interaction or overlapping between the bonded orbital and the adjacent antibonding orbitals like sigma star or pi star or empty orbital, empty non-bonding orbitals, right? So hyperconjugative effect is one of the electron displacement effects. This is mainly due to the delocalization of sigma electrons present in an organic molecule. We have more than one possible structure for a compound due to hyperconjugation. So this is a stabilizing and a permanent effect. And this effect is mainly due to the overlapping or interaction between the bonded orbital with adjacent non-bonding p orbital or anti-bonding sigma star or pi star orbital. Okay, what is the requirement for hyperconjugation? What should be the requirement? There should be alpha CH group. There should be alpha CH group in the molecule, or else lone pair of electron should be present. Atoms like nitrogen and oxygen. There should be lone pair of electrons on the atoms like nitrogen and oxygen, and these heteroatoms will be adjacent to the sp2 hybridized carbon. So this is the basic requirement for hyperconjugative effect. Take CH3, CH, double bond CH2. So this prop1ene or 1-propene will involve in hyperconjugation. This hyperconjugation is mainly due to the alpha CH group. So we have 3 alpha CH group, right? When you take prop1ene, this involves in hyperconjugation. This is mainly due to the alpha CH group. Okay. And one more possibility, the heteroatom will have a lone pair of electron. Okay, the heteroatom will have a lone pair of electron. So this is the basic requirement for a hyperconjugative effect. 3 examples are given in our book. First example, hyperconjugation in prop 1ene, CH3, CH double bond, CH2. Due to hyperconjugation, more than one structure can be written for this. So we have a methyl group at the end. So we have alpha CH group. This is bonded pair of electron, right? Due to mutual overlapping between sp3 hybridized orbital of carbon and 1s orbital of hydrogen, a covalent bond is formed. Due to this mutual overlapping, a covalent bond is formed between carbon and hydrogen. And this alpha electron, this is sigma. We have 2 types of bond, sigma bond and pi bond. Okay, so this is sigma bond, this is pi bond. We already discussed about type of bonding. Due to head-on overlapping, we will have sigma bond. Due to sidewise or lateral overlapping, we will get pi bond. So direct overlapping between the sp3 hybridized orbital of carbon and 1s orbital of hydrogen, a sigma bond is formed. And the electron, this covalent bond has a pair of electron. This is called a bonded pair of electron or shared pair of electron or sigma electron. This sigma electron will involve in delocalization. Okay. So the sigma electron is becoming a pi bond here. So hydrogen is leaving as H plus. By donating the electron, hydrogen is leaving as H plus. So a double bond is formed in this position. Already double bond is present for this carbon. Right? So around this carbon, 5 covalent bond cannot be present. So this pi bond is shifted over here. Okay. The hydrogen is leaving as a H plus by donating electron. So the sigma electron is becoming a pi electron. Already there is a pi bond in this position. Around this carbon, 5 covalent bond should not be there. So that this pi electron is shifted over carbon. So carbon gets negative charge. Okay. Instead of this hydrogen can leave as a H plus. So one more possible structure. When this hydrogen is leaving as H plus, this is the possible structure. You take this structure 1, 2, 3. Now this hydrogen can leave as H plus. So this is structure 4. So we have taken prop 1ene. Due to delocalization of this sigma electron, we have these canonical structures, right? So more than one structure can be written. So these canonical structures are responsible for the stabilization. So the molecule is stabilized because of this hyperconjugative effect. So in this case, there is no covalent bond between hydrogen and the carbon. This is alpha carbon. between the alpha carbon and hydrogen, there is no bond. So this hypoconjugative effect is also known as no bond resonance. The effect is called hypoconjugative effect or no bond resonance effect. And this is invented by two scientists. So it is also called as Baker-Nathan effect. So first example indicates delocalization of sigma electron. A methyl group has 3 acidic hydrogen. So 3 possible structures can be drawn. You take it as hydrogen 1, hydrogen 2, hydrogen 3. When each hydrogen is leaving as H+, we may draw 3 possible structures. So first example is over. Hypoconjugative effect is also known as no bond resonance effect or Baker-Nathan effect. Second example, hypoconjugative effect is also possible in compounds like this. It's called vinyl chloride. The compound is vinyl chloride. The bonded chlorine is highly electronegative in nature. At the same time, lone pair of electrons also present. Okay. So, lone pair of electrons also present on chlorine. Totally 7 electrons for chlorine. 1 electron is shared with this carbon to make a covalent bond. So, even though chlorine is more electronegative, the lone pair of electron can also involve in delocalization. This lone pair of electron is becoming a bonded pair of electron. So more than one structure can be possible. So if double bond is formed here, this will be shifted over here. So CH2 minus, single bond CH, double bond Cl, it gets positive charge. One lone pair of electron is shifted as bond pair of electron. Okay. So lone pair of electrons present on heteroatoms like this will make a hypoconjugative effect. This is second example. Third example, we may take nitriles or cyanides. CH2, double bond CH. It's called a vinyl cyanide. Okay, this is cyanide, CN group, or you can call it as nitrile. And this nitrogen is more electronegative in nature. Already lone pair of electrons present on nitrogen, and this is more electronegative in nature. So this pi electron will be shifted over nitrogen, and this will be shifted over here, where it gets positive charge. Okay, CH2 plus single bond CH double bond C double bond N. So the molecule becomes polar in nature due to shifting of these electrons. These are all examples of hypoconjugative effect. When you take a carbocation, this is ethyl carbocation. Ethyl carbocation will involve in hypoconjugative effect, right? So due to this methyl group, hypoconjugative effect is possible. And we have an order of stability of carbocation. Comparing primary, secondary is more stable. Comparing secondary, tertiary carbocation is more stable. So this is mainly due to hypoconjugative effect. Now secondary has 2 methyl group, tertiary will have 3 methyl group. Number of alkyl group increases, hypoconjugative effect will be more. So more canonical structures will be there. So this is the order of stability of carbocation. This is mainly due to hyperconjugation. Next, different types of chemical reactions. So what are the types of organic chemical reactions? There are different types of organic reactions like substitution reaction, addition reactions, elimination reactions, then oxidation reaction, reduction reaction. Always oxidation and reduction will take place simultaneously. We call them as redox reactions. Then some more categories like polymerization reaction, rearrangement reactions. So in organic, different types are there. Okay, one by one we'll discuss. First, substitution reactions. So when you take substitution reactions, methyl bromide in the presence of attacking reagent, this is nucleophile OH minus. In the presence of attacking reagent, there will be substitution reaction. That means an atom in the substrate or a group of atom in the substrate will be replaced by an atom or a group of atoms. Okay. So substitution is nothing but an atom in the substrate molecule or a group of atom in the substrate molecule will be replaced by or substituted by other atoms or group of atoms. It is called a substitution reaction. Okay. So another name, a displacement reaction. Br minus is displaced by nucleophile OH minus. We get the product methanol, the liberation of bromide ion. Br minus is displaced by OH minus. Okay. So the reaction is substitution reaction. Three common types of substitution reactions available. Number one, nucleophilic substitution reaction. Nucleophilic substitution. From the name we can identify the attacking reagent as a nucleophile. So nucleus loving species. OH minus is a nucleophile. So this will attack electron diffusion center. Already bromine is more electronegative than the carbon, so bromine can easily leave us Br minus. So already it gets a slightly negative charge, carbon gets a slightly positive charge, so that the nucleophile will attack electron deficient carbon. So this nucleophile is making a covalent bond with this carbon, it forms alcohol. The bromine with a slightly negative charge, so due to more electronegativity, is leaving us Br minus. So the leaving group is bromide ion. Okay. So this is called a nucleophilic substitution reaction. If a nucleophilic substitution reaction is taking place in only one step, it is called SN2 reaction. The mechanism is SN2. Okay. In the next lesson, 13th lesson, we will discuss. We have nucleophilic substitution bimolecular reaction. Okay. It will take place in only one step. Rate of the reaction will depend on substrate and attacking reagent. The next category, SN1, nucleophilic substitution unimolecular. If you take tertiary butyl bromide in the presence of attacking reagent nucleophile, this becomes tertiary butyl alcohol. And the leaving group is bromide ion. This is also nucleophilic substitution, but it takes place in two steps. First step is the formation of carbocation. Second step, nucleophile will attack the carbocation. So the reaction takes place in 2 steps and rate of the reaction depends only on substrate. It's called a SN1 reaction, or it is following SN1 mechanism. The reaction which is taking place in 1 step, rate of the reaction depends on both attacking reagent and the substrate. It is called SN2 reaction, or the reaction follows SN2 mechanism. So first type of substitution is nucleophilic substitution. It is of 2 types, SN1 and SN2. Next one, electrophilic substitution reaction. It's called SE, electrophilic substitution reaction. Generally, aliphatic compounds will involve in nucleophilic substitution. Aromatic compound will involve in electrophilic substitution. Okay. We take an aromatic compound, benzene. This is an aromatic compound. We take any electrophile. This is nitronium ion. Electrophile is a nitronium ion. This is electron loving species. It will attack electron rich center. So there is a delocalization of pi electron. So this will attack electron rich benzene ring. So a hydrogen in benzene will be replaced by electrophile. So we will get nitrobenzene. So this is called electrophilic substitution reaction. Benzene becomes nitrobenzene. Next, free radical substitution. Free radical substitution. We take methane, do homolytic cleavage. Okay, we do homolytic cleavage. This bond will be broken by a homolytic fission. We get methyl free radical and hydrogen free radical. Okay. When methane is involving in homolytic cleavage, we get methyl and hydrogen free radical. The same way chlorine, in the presence of sunlight, it becomes chlorine free radical. Okay. So the chlorine free radical will combine with hydrogen free radical. It forms a hydrogen chloride. One more chlorine free radical combines with methyl free radical, it forms methyl chloride. So this is free radical substitution reaction. We can say a hydrogen is replaced by free radical chlorine. Okay, so in methane CH4, the hydrogen is replaced by a free radical chlorine. So this is called a free radical substitution reaction. So as we discussed, aliphatic compounds will involve in nucleophilic substitution. Aromatic compound will involve in electrophilic substitution, but some exceptions are there. Aliphatic compound can also involve in electrophilic substitution. This is an exception one. You take secondary amine. Usually aliphatic compound will involve in nucleophilic substitution. This is an exception one. It involves an electrophilic substitution. So take nitrosonium ion. This is an electrophile. We get substituted product N2 NO, and the H plus is leaving. So this is substituted product. Okay. So with this, first type of reactions are over. Substitution reactions are over. Next, addition reactions, elimination reactions, that will be discussed tomorrow. Thank you.